Collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest challenge accepted. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All the lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like blowing that plank off strikes don't cut her. Attracted to the mind but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Mrs. Best. We have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey.
We are here to jump into the foolery that is love in HipHop Miami. We're going to go over the episode title, A Slap in the Face. This is season 5, episode 23. Side note, I don't like how they're making the new seasons. Like, you told us last season it was the season finale, and then you come back saying that this season is a part of the last season. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why they do that. Do you? I'm just like, I don't understand it.
It almost feels like it's Carlos making these shows. That's what, because Carlos does this on his shows, where he'd be like, "This season finale, no, this ain't the season finale. This is just they're taking a break," and you're like, "Wait, why are they taking a break? What's going on?" Like, I mean, what happened? Did we run out of money in the budget? Like, what happened? I guess
I'm cracking up because it doesn't make sense, but here we are. So everybody's in the Dominican Republic for a trip that was supposed to be for Amara and her baby daddy to make peace, allow him to see the kids, things like that. But Brooke invited a bunch of people, obvious pre-producing. This is the cast trip, and they're trying to make it look like something else. But everyone is at the event, and last we left off, Zoe was getting upset with Gael. She is in tears. I'm sick of her big ass crying. I said it there. I said it. I really am. Like, can you stop? She's cried, it seemed like, almost every episode we've seen her. If you're crying over the situation with your family, like she was her first season, that makes sense. If you're crying over the passing of your grandfather, condolences to you and your loved ones, that makes sense. Hell, if you're crying over your man cheating on you, that makes sense. To be crying because Gael wants you to talk to Hot Topic, it's just a little much. I'm a little over Zoe. Here's what y'all got to understand. Just because you're having a bad day or experiencing a bad time, going through things in life, that doesn't mean the rest of the world has to, wants to, or is going to deal with whatever emotional roller coaster that comes. And it really is that simple, in my opinion. But I'm tired of her crying, and that's just how I feel. So the twins, Florence, a couple of people go over to Zoe, and they try to calm her down, and Hot Topic comes over and ends up talking some reason into Zoe. They end up making peace because remember they had gotten into it. Hot Topic actually came at Zoe correctly from the beginning, and because Zoe once again was not in the right mind state, she believed that was okay for her to just go off on Hot Topic, and then Hot Topic was responding to some stuff. So it's good that Hot Topic went and made peace, but I can't help but think of the term, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it seems more so like something like that. I mean, you don't just have words like that with people and then get back cool. That's not healthy. I don't care what anybody says. How did you feel about that scene with Zoe's ass crying?
I feel like she was... It reminded me of like a petulant child crying because you took the airhead away. So it's like, I don't need... This scene was so unnecessary. I was proud of the ladies for at least trying to find some common ground with each other. But at the same time, I was like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid.
It be feeling forced when they make peace or try to make peace on Love and Hip Hop as a franchise.
Like, that was too easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was too easy. It was all like, yeah, I was just, speaking on it. And it was just the way... What's the girl's name again? Not Zoe, the other.
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. Because the reason why I can't remember that being a name, because that's not a name. So that's why I'm not... I just felt like, to me, it gave you really can't, you can't beat this lady. So you just gonna break bread with her and try to appease her. That's what it gave to me. I could be wrong, and I don't care. Let's, I don't want two black women to
Here's
fight
the
over.
thing that bothered me. Zoe got her big ass up mad at the fact that Gaia was trying to get her to talk to Hot Topic about their problems. That's the whole reason you got upset. So then Hot Topic is the one that calms you down and you're able to talk to her. So do you
It's
really
so
still have,
weird.
I don't like Gael, but do you really have a reason to be upset with her if what she was trying to get you to do worked?
Yeah,
And
and you actually did it. Yeah.
Zoe, grow up, girl. You are grown. You're hella grown. And you have so much talent, and your attitude, if you ever watch this, is going to keep you back. And you probably would have an attitude with hearing that. And that's the problem. And someday you'll get there. We'll leave it there. We then see Trick's tired ass playing basketball with his son. And he lets his son know the 50th anniversary that he was going to perform at is not happening. But he wants Trina to tell him, which is childish. But Trick is childish, Trina's childish, Joy is childish. That whole group of people, they're all childish as hell. But he does allow his son to speak to Trina, and she just lets the little boy know the performance ain't gonna be what you thought it was gonna be, which I agree. We don't see Trick doing a lot by himself. When we see Trick do things that are professional, it's usually bigger platforms, BET, versus things like that other people are putting on. You don't usually see a lot of productions put together by him himself. Some people are meant to just be artists and not people who are in the background or in the forefront. Or some people are meant to be artists, not the people in the background who handle the paperwork and the organization. Trick is just an artist. He's just that, nothing else. So I'm not even going to get an opinion too much from that because I'm just going over it because it happened in the show, y'all. It's nothing significant. Moving on, everybody back in the Dominican Republic is having some sort of little dance event. They're doing some sort of cultural dance of the Mucinex monster. Yes.
I have to tell you, the only thing I could look at was his face, and I'm just like, God damn.
I felt like his stomach. Like, do you remember those activities they have you do at baby showers where you put the balloon in your belly and stuff? Like his stomach looks like when you put the balloon in your belly, if you know what I mean. Anywho, let me be nice. Let me be nice. Anywho, we are going to move on. Everybody in the Dominican Republic, they're doing their little cultural dances or whatever. And Alan, who is Amara's baby daddy, comes and they discuss the families coming together for their daughters. And Amara says that he still makes her anxious. And she makes it seem like she's saying this in a way that's like as if he could still, get her excited in a way that is adult like. And I'm just like, y'all do remember she told us a few episodes ago that she knew when she got with him that he was married. So I'm looking at Amara La Negra like the longer you're on the show, the more you kind of ruin your reputation a little bit. Just the Hot Mess Express. Now it's making sense why she would go backwards to do a song with Safari and still kind of be interested in him even after he went to talk with a friend. Like now it's starting to make sense. No shade, but Amara is starting to seem a little bit like a pick me girl. But after this, Alan then goes over to Gael, and Gael is saying in the confessional, because she starts dancing and flirting with Alan, and he starts flirting back. She says, "Of course I would be with a married man. Why not?" I said, "Oh my God,
I
Gael."
said, Lord, have mercy. I said, wait a minute. Well, she's not lying. That's one thing. Her own sister could attest to this one. But I was like, oh, lady, really? You just okay? So now everybody got to be like, hide your husbands. Y'all got L in the room. Like, come on now.
Damn
Somebody
shame.
gonna hi Jim Bunny. So,
Hi.
Gael, somebody gonna jump on your neck. I promise you,
It's
somebody's
coming. She
it's
gonna
going,
meet
it's
the
going,
wrong
yeah, it's
wife.
going to happen.
She's gonna meet the wrong wife. And separate from that, I don't even think she'll run into the wrong wife. I think she'll run into the wrong man. Some of these men really, really, really ain't shit and will sit there and cheat and do their wives dirty. But if a side bitch gets too ahead of herself, he will quickly remind her of what the hell she is. So
Yes, Mucinex Monster. Shout out to Bondi Blue, who we love all over this YouTube street. So proud of her. I remember she's the reason why I didn't take my life in 2013. So thank you, Bondi. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
A lot of these creators, it shows you how long it takes. So I start watching Kempire. He was at like it'd be like 10,000 subscribers, and he
He
only
did
had
that in a very short time. He
he
was
did that from the pandemic to like 2022.
Yes, I am so proud of him. Like I remember when his channel first started as well, and oh my god, I am so proud of him because to get over what is it, 300,000 subscribers today? I lost count, but that is amazing. He keeps it going. He is so consistent, and I am so proud. I am championing him all the way because that is definitely monumental, and I aspire to do the same.
Yes, 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 yes. I think the trick with YouTube is remember it's not a job. So you don't have to do the over professional stick to set schedules. People just want to feel good and enjoy stuff. So do that. That's why these people are honestly popular. But I love seeing Black creators thrive, and they are both Black and they both thriving.
Yes.
But Alan and Gael, I guess they got something. They flirting. Gael don't care about dancing with a married man. And Amara takes him to the side because this is bothering her a little bit. She feels like they are trying her, which is something that she says. And they discuss how he is as a father. That's thank you, Jim Bunny. That is necessary because it is like calculus and physics mixed with some other stuff.
Yes, and like substantial control because I promise you, YouTube take 10 subscribers from you a week. I promise you they do. So I just I'm just kidding. But yeah.
What the hell is going on with YouTube? But sometimes I get that. You gained a subscriber, you lost one, you gained 3. It's like, huh? But
I don't understand okay. I guess the program to that. Okay, nice. But
the best. YouTube confuses me. But moving it along, basically they discuss how Alan is as a father, the same discussion that she keeps having with this married man, somebody else's husband. And it they start cussing. Basically, she gets upset by something he said, but he really, if you pay attention to the scene, I feel like Amara is just this way. She did this with MJ. She does this with her friends when she gets upset. She gets real emotional and just kind of snaps. And if you look at her mom, when her mom was responding to her dad, her mom did the same thing, gets overly emotional and then snaps, which I understand. But Alan didn't really do anything to get her to do that. He was being an asshole, but I feel like it would be clear to any person who had a higher amount of emotional maturity, like, oh, he's trying to fuck with me. He want to get a rise out of me. That's what I feel like she should have paid attention to. But instead, she snaps, throws her shoe, not even at him, onto the ground. And then when he continues to try and talk to her, she starts, if y'all was reading them subtitles, she was cussing his ass out in Espanol, calmly though. So people didn't really know what was happening outside of body language. But she snapped, tries to attack Alan, and all he can do is laugh. And what else is anyone else supposed to do? I kind of would have done the same thing because we can talk. You could cuss me out. He was sitting there being called all types of names and stuff, and then you snap. He ain't have room to speak, but you're snapping. What did you think of their interaction, James?
I felt like this. I felt like that wasn't the time or place. I felt like it was not the time or place. I felt like it wasn't any. Okay, well, here's the thing. She had to do that, yes, because he is coming along with Amara. I understand. This man is married, has other children, has all this entirely. You can't ask him to show up now in a way where it would be like you're an extra, because you are at the end of the day, because he has a whole life. So you're an added bonus. You're the extra. So you having all these expectations that he needs to do more and be more, it's like when he finds the time, yes, he definitely needs to do more and be more because he created 2 children. But at the same time, you knew all of this from me too. You admitted it on national TV. So now the repercussions is you can't get mad at him now for how he shows up today when you knew what the situation was. I think a lot of women get that confused. We'll talk about that on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta even more because there was another circumstance like this too. What is with y'all people?
I don't even think it's a y'all women thing. I think that's with.
Well, I don't mean y'all. I say y'all in general. I'm talking about y'all in Love and Hip Hop land. I didn't mean it towards only specifically women.
These women on Love and Hip Hop are, and people don't like to hear it, but in my opinion, they're the no shade at the bottom of the barrel. Money does not give you class. Money does not give you common sense. Money does not help you to make smart decisions. And I will say that's what it is. I don't understand.
We know that because Shay lives proof of that statement.
But
So we know it.
Amara with Alan, I want people to stop acting like this is just like a regular ass like thing. Like she tries to paint it as if, oh, I'm a single mom and I did not expect this. Yes, you did. You got with somebody who was unavailable. You got pregnant once. You had a miscarriage. He showed you he was happy you had it because he didn't want a child with you. Whole time he was married. Come to find out, you snatched his ass up from your ex-boyfriend because that was a friend of your ex-boyfriend's, which would make sense why they would be closer if you probably done sat with the wife at some point. So I feel like Amara is full of poop. She just can't. She said money can't buy you class. Elegance can be learned in Countess Luann. Oh, is she sober? The countess?
I don't like her, so I don't know. I don't know her. I don't like her. I do not watch her, so I don't really
I just know the last time I watched Housewives of New York, I guess she was coming back after, I guess she became an alcoholic. I don't know.
I don't even know who she is. Because you know who I'm confusing her with? I'm confusing her with the lady with the prosthetic leg.
Oh, no.
And I know that's not her. I know that's not her. That's why I'm like, wait, that's not, because in my head I was gonna say, girl, yeah, you.
No, the Countess, she was there from season 1. She's a OG. The short hair, but you know, Lord, I love that she quoted her though. I did like her for a little bit. Anywho, now Amara loves to say to us that she thinks that she did not know.
Ooh, Jim Bunny, I know it ain't me.
She's old. The Count. I'm trying to tell you, the Countess. She's been on TV forever. And I think she's a drunk. She said it. She admitted it. Now she's a comedian or something. But anywho, Amara says that.
Was she funny?
I didn't watch. I saw like some clips, like with Housewives of New York.
As I said, the lady who needed to be a comedian was that lady who took off that prosthetic leg and threw it on that table. That's who needs to be the comedian. Because when I tell you, I still holler at that shit to this day, and that been 10 years ago. I still holler at that shit to this day. Lady picked up that whole prosthetic leg and said, "That's the only thing that's fake about me." On that table. On that table.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
I said, I ain't never seen nobody do no shit. So that's who need to be the comedian. That's why I have a hard time connecting. But again, we talking about the wrong shit. Sorry, y'all.
Lord, she got the leg emoji. Why did they even have it? I cannot. Let me know, Jen, how the reboot of Roni is, because I didn't watch it. I was like, just let it go. But I'm curious to know if the reboot is any good. Aviva was her name. She was on Marriage Boot Camp too, and she was doing stuff with that leg on there too. I said her and that they were, they had to go through the exercises. They had to do exercises of their most like viral reality moments. So
I thought you said, I thought you meant like they tried to make her run with it. I was like, oh. Give that to the show. We going to hell.
I could not. Anywho, y'all, let me get back into Love and Hip Hop Miami. Apologies. Like the video if you
like
could.
The video. Shout out to the people.
So Amarna La Negra gets into it with her baby daddy and all this stuff. And, when Alan walks away from her after she's going off and trying to attack him, he's like, that's why nobody wants your black ass. And, it did come off as slurry, a little racially charged in a negative manner. She then says the next day after she's upset and all of this extra dramatic crying with no makeup and a wig. And she says that she met a friend of Alan's, and the friend said to him that Alan does not like Black women, but that he only dated her for opportunity. Here's the thing. I'm going to need Amara to grow some tougher, thicker skin. If you're going to run around choosing to date married men, then you have to be prepared to accept the result from that. Now, season 1 of this show, she spoke about how they're are racial issues in the Afro-Latina community, which I believe her wholeheartedly. I don't think that's something people usually make up. I know that the Family Chantel, a show that I recap that comes on TLC, as well as 90 Day the Single Life, which I recap, the people in the Dominican Republic can be a little bit racist depending on the tone of your skin when it comes to marriage, relationships, things like that. Not all of them, though. Here's the thing. If his friend told you that, why did you keep fucking with him after hearing that? That's like a significant warning and things of that nature. Other thing, once someone says something like that to you, you should be pretty done with them.
because that's not a red flag, baby. That's code red. You need to get the fuck out of Dodge when people tell you shit like that. So
Yeah.
I don't understand her either. I was really confused when she was sitting there. Well, you know what Alan is, he don't like because he's no black and I just struggle with it all my life and everything. And I'm just like, Amara, okay, we get all that. We understand all of that. But we need context. When did that friend tell you that Alan didn't like black women and that he was using you for the opportunity? Was it before you lost the first baby, or was it when you birthed them two twins? We need to know. I need to know context.
I don't think his friend said that. I think that she has known that Alan had issues with. I think that Alan's family and something that happened with the family and her has to do with why he made that statement. I also feel like she knew that he could be capable of statements like that. I don't think it came from a friend. Here's why. When she first introduced us to Alan and
No, it did come from a friend. You know who it came from? MJ.
Messy. Fucking messy. But when she got with him, I don't believe it because she explained how he was helping her because she was having a hard time with her music. Her career had fell off a little bit, especially after COVID. She says that she was struggling financial wise and business wise. And he is the one who put her onto real estate because he's a big developer or whatever out there. So I don't think he needed the opportunity. It was making plenty of money selling Dominican things to others for American dollars. I feel like she knew all of this. It's just hard for me to feel sorry for her. And I know y'all probably like, oh, it's because you're married. And even when I, was not married, I'm not interested in dating nobody who is, and no one should be, unless they're the wife. So what he said was fucked up, but he better hope his daughter's skin tone stays where it is, because his listen, you don't like it, but your kids could end up looking like her.
I'm saying, like I'm telling you, you got to be very careful the way you prejudge somebody's skin, and that's why you just got to be careful prejudging people just in general, because y'all know God got a crazy sense of humor. God will make you end up with what you don't like, all for you to show that it really was your ignorance and judgment that got in your way of that being the best thing that could have ever happened to you. But what I want to say for Amara, because I feel like she's always going to be tripping herself over her own feet, I need you to stop looking at people at face value. I need you to stop doing that, because it's obvious to me you didn't do any background check, look at any Yelp reviews, you didn't look at the Google reviews, you didn't look at anything when it came to this man. You looked at only the face value, and you do that with your friends. I'm noticing you do that a lot. I don't know if that's your mama in you. I don't know what that is, but you need to really understand and listen to people, because people expose themselves in just the first conversation a lot of the time by asking the right questions. So you need to do more. You need to have better people skills. That's all I'm gonna tell her.
I don't even buy half of it, but what I will say is I hope that for the sake of the kids, it's figured out. But again, she chose to have a baby and enter a relationship with somebody else's husband. She then chose to have a baby with someone that is not American. And now they are having issues with co-parenting because you don't want to send your child to the other country, but you knew that that's where the dad was. Most of what she is going through, she has literally put herself in. And that's where I check the fuck out. It is season 5. Amara, y'all been on TV since before the pandemic happened, and that was 4 years ago. if you have not sharpened up, then I don't know what to tell you. Moving on, Brooke Valentine pulls aside Shay, aka Bookie, and she mentions the comment that Shay made about Estelita going and sucking her daddy's you know what. Shay says that Estelita has admitted to prostitution. She has also admitted to having sugar daddies. And when she talks about the different men that she has paying for things, she'd be like, oh, yeah, that's daddy. That's daddy. So whatever the hell. So she's saying she did not mean your father because Estelita's upset because she experienced SA at the hands of her father, unfortunately. And she felt like Shay knowing that and the world knowing that was using that as a dig against her. So Brooke Valentine, she tried to play keeper when you left Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. People didn't like you because you were so messy, girl. Now she says, Brooke says this is a misunderstanding that Estelita and Shay are having, and that Shay should not avoid explaining her piece and her side of things to Estelita because basically Brooke's trying to help her. Like, listen, you famous, like this can get you canceled, which it can. People don't play about SA, and I'm actually glad that people are that way. But Shay did not want to talk to her. I think it's kind of sad she had to be convinced to talk to her. If I thought that a comment I made to my worst enemy was mistaken in a way that makes it look like I was taunting or laughing at their abuse of any sort, I would be like, look, bitch, I don't like you, but I'm sorry. I genuinely did not. No one would have to convince me, right? But Shay having to be convinced makes me think that she did mean that comment in the way that it came off.
And I have to give it to Brooke because she handled that conversation in the most careful and most elegant way. I think not anyone on either of the cast of Love and Hip Hop could have handled it. So big ups to Brooke, as you could tell in this moment, she has grown from her Love and Hip Hop Hollywood days. So she really has. So I definitely want to say that she did handle that graciously. So Brooke, big ups to you. You actually scored some brownie points with me. But yeah. I actually am going to agree with you. I think that it does come off that she did intend to say that crazy ass thing that she said when it came to Estelita and her biological father. Because even if Estelita said, this is my sugar daddy, this is my sugar daddy, shit, my sugar daddy, I'm sure the men came with names personally to you. I'm sure that's not how she always addressed them. I'm sure she said they had a name. You could have said the name, or you could have actually said the word sugar daddy just to make sure the term was correct. You were being reckless. And what Brooke is trying to tell you is that those actions of you being reckless could cost you everything, including the $1 million business that you just built. And that's what she's not seeing. And that's what's so crazy about her. It's like you don't care, but man, your actions could have huge consequences if this is taken in the wrong way.
Yeah, Shay is slow. That's just what I've come up to. She's slow and she's so mad at the world she can't see past herself. But Amara comes and interrupts this conversation, and Shay and Amara, of course, get into it. Shay says that Estelita has manipulated every single person into thinking that she's a victim and that Shay's coming after her. The conversation goes into then quickly like what Amara's done to Shay and what Shay feels Amara's done to her. Amara does end up asking Shay to leave the trip because they're unable to make peace at all. And Shay's like, make me, thinking she's going to bait her into fighting her because I feel like Shay just wants a moment so that they're discussing something other than Fabo, personally. And I was happy as hell. I said, Amara, you need to have the same energy you had with Shay with your baby daddy and dating. Learn how to walk away, because she walked away from Shay's ass. I would have done the same thing. Shay is one of those people where once you dealt with her, I think once, if you're at a certain age or at a certain maturity, that's enough. If not, maybe once or twice, a couple times, you'll never entertain arguing with her again. She doesn't argue to make peace. She's just trying to win who can say the most offensive or hurtful thing. And I'm over Shay, but I was glad Amara walked away. What did you think of them two's interaction?
I thought it was stupid. I thought it was petty. I thought it was childish. I felt like that wasn't the moment. I feel like Amara should have just said, "Hey," and just go about her business because she ended up doing what she was not supposed to do, which is cause another moment with another cast member. And to me, I feel like Shay needs to stop burning all these damn bridges. Because in a minute, no one's going to want to film with you, and you're not all that interesting on your own to carry your own self on this show. So to me, I feel like if you can't at least level with your mind and take some accountability, then it's like, well, then you get the fuck off the show. Because no one's going to keep entertaining this shit.
Listen.
No, because she had, you know what the problem is? She does not want to see the problem in her. We learned that on Iyanla. She doesn't want to take any accountability. It's all of what someone does to her, and that's her response to everything. It's always been that. And it was on like, man,
she's a spoiled fucking brat, in my opinion. Shay is spoiled as hell. I think that she's probably spoiled because of the stuff she always crying about. Her daddy cheated on her mama. I think she's probably spoiled because of that. She got brothers. She's the only girl. I think she's spoiled as hell because when she don't get her way or people don't agree with her, she is going off. And I'm tired of it. I think we all are, Shay. Shay has been making a fool of herself on TV for years and years and years. And there's no way that you can watch yourself back on these shows and feel proud of how you're behaving or what you're doing, especially 40 plus. It's time to, like, you know, relax. It's time to relax. And that is not a dig towards anybody 40. Shout out to you, Jib Bunny. She says, Shay is my age, 40 years old. Please go to therapy. Listen, I'm going to be at 40 soon, and so will James too. But I just feel like once you're out of your 20s, you're like, okay, I want to kind of work on myself. And by the time you're at your 40s, I feel like you should be in a more mature place as an adult to where you're not doing and making the type of mistakes that Shay is making.
That's because I'm gonna go back to Nia Green's comment right quick. Nia, I'm gonna go back to your comment. Reality TV doesn't hire people for accountability, not anymore. And this is why Black people need to start taking it on their own accounts, because this is only more noticeable with us because the TV likes to enlighten that about us, that we don't take accountability, and that we act like Shay does on TV. And that's where we need to start taking that power back from them and start actually conducting ourselves and making, yes, we can have drama. That's completely fine. But Shay takes it way more than where it needs to go. Like, she digs that knife way too deep. And when you try to retract it back, you then look like the fool because there's still shit gushing out of it. So you can't, come on. Like, that's not what we need to do. And I just feel like for us, we need to start looking at this. Like, I'm telling you, Black people on reality TV, that's why I swear I would do a reality TV show, because I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. But at the same time, I don't want people to think I'm this high horse person, because I'm not. I'm very much level-minded. But the problem is that I'm not going to walk into a circumstance and completely disrespect and dishonor people just because I don't like what they say to me.
There's drama and there's incompetence. Shay's both. She had us thinking we were headed in the right direction. I cannot. What is up? My mom has a license plate she got made. It says headed in the wrong direction. God allows U-turns. Shay, Amada, and a couple of others. Y'all all need some U-turns. My God. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging so that I'm not just talking to this little ass camera. I appreciate y'all for being here. I hope I'm not ripping Shay to shreds, because apparently my mouth can be lethal, so I'm trying not to rip this woman apart. But I'm tired of her wig, and her forehead. Moving it along, Shay goes to see Florence. She don't have no other friends, y'all, so she goes to see Flo, who is the only person that she's cool with on this trip. I was like, damn. And mind you, Shay is not.
I was confused by that.
Well, she got problems with.
No, I was confused because I thought for certain when I tell y'all, I'm gonna need to go back and watch that dinner scene again when Gael and Shay got into it, because I could have sworn she got into it with Flo too.
No.
She did. Okay, maybe.
Tell Flo to get her sister. Shay is into it with everybody. She got into it with Bobby. She's into it with Amada, Estelita, everybody at the beach. The only people she's not into it with are people she doesn't know. And I guess once they get to know her, they'll be into it as well because that's
But
what
who
it
does
looks
she
like.
not know on the cast? I'm trying to figure it out.
The Hollywood twins. That's it.
Oh, Reese's and Pieces. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I got it.
Hot Topic, some of the new people, but
Hot Topic.
they're not even the cast. They're like friends of.
Yeah, they're like, I forgot. And you know, it's funny. I forgot they were there until this episode. Not Hot Topic, but them twins. I forgot them twins was there.
I really don't care.
They
I don't know.
They remind me of Fairmont twins. Like that's what they remind me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care for them. I don't think I get what. If my best friend was Trick Daddy too, I'd be like, do this, but you got kids. But Trick don't have the clout he think he got to put people on. That's what I'll say. Not anymore. Maybe in 2002, but in 2024, no. So Shay goes to see Flo for that reason. She talks to Flo about what Gael did. Because Shay was like, yo, sister, talk to my mama. Got my mama thinking I'm in the mood. Fucking Gael.
But it was that scene up there with that mama yelling at her about that voodoo outfit and everything. I was all like, yeah.
And Gael knew she would too because it's the South. They don't play with stuff like that.
They don't. And I actually do believe, I don't remember seeing it in the scene, but I do believe she prayed to get that man back. I do. I do believe that's what she did.
I do too.
I'm sorry. I can't help. That's my personal belief.
Because we know he didn't want her. And now suddenly,
yes, now suddenly
he's around.
Yeah, it's like, come on. You prayed to that voodoo. Yeah.
Maybe the shit worked. So, you know, she's upset about that. And Gael's like, girl, Flo's like, I'm not even talking to Gael right now. And she says that she's not talking to Gael because she found out that Gael slept with Claudia. And there was also a FaceTime between Marlon and Claudia. I'm going to get into that when they have their conversation towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, because I don't have the energy right now.
There's no way to just comment and come back. But it should sleep with your husband. Everybody's fair game. That's all I'm going to say for now. Moving it on along, they discussed the issues with Amada and Shay. And once again, Shay is saying the same thing as the leaders manipulating the situation. And I always think that people who accuse others of manipulation or who can spot it out easy are the ones who do that themselves.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. It always goes that way. Because otherwise, who's looking for that or thinking of that?
I can see that. I can see that.
Because I'm like, come on now. Anyhow, so once again, it just seems like Shay's unwilling to listen because even Flo tries to tell her, like, well, you need to talk and explain it still. Like, even Flo's like, you still have to explain yourself and apologize because if that's how she took it and Flo tells her, you can't tell her what to be triggered by. You can't tell her how to take something. You can't tell someone how to interpret. That's just what they do. It's an act of self. You interpret. Like, and you know, and it looks like Shay is going to talk to Estelita, but only because multiple people are now telling her, like, hey, yo, you wrong. That's Brooke, that's Amada, and now that's Flo. And Flo is a dingbat. So if Flo is telling you wrong, you are wrong because she cannot figure much out. But she can figure out that Shay is wrong. I'm trying to tell you, just a mess. So we move on to a party that everybody's having in Bobby Light's suite. Of course, Bobby Lights has his suite. I am kind of happy for Bobby Lights. I like that he's still on Zeus and stuff. But I think he learned from his first show. It kind of made his reputation kind of a joke, the crazy joke and constantly partying. It seems like he's leaning away from that as a whole. And his back towards the here.
Before I left Miami, he was very much so still in clubs. And still
no. I'm talking about Zeus, not the clubs.
Okay.
That network is terrible. That network got them in there just fighting for money, it seems. And I'm glad to see him away from it. That's where Suki went. She's going to be getting her own show on that network. It's just like Black ignorance all in one place. She said thick weed.
The only thing I want to see on Suki is her getting back with the Powerpuff Girls and going on tour. That's the only thing I want to see. Other than that, I don't want to see anything else from her. So she can Yeah, that's what they look like when they fought that one girl for on Trina's behalf. They were like the Powerpuff Girl because they all had on like some variation color of the Powerpuff Girl. Sukiana had on blue, Hood Brad had on pink, red, and then Chameleon, who I love. Oh my god, I wish she would make a comeback. Chameleon wore green, so it was like they were the Powerpuff Girl.
Chameleon got a real job. She was the star of
Yeah,
the show, and then she's doing other stuff too. She said, "I ain't coming back
well,
for this shit."
she was the only one I knew of aside from Trick and Trina when she was on the show. She was the only person I knew of. So yes.
Okay, Chameleon. Okay. Plus, we got a cliffhanger. She was supposedly potentially pregnant by that other boy who got out
Yeah,
of
that's
jail.
what she had a storyline and everything.
Like, what happened with that? Anywho, Bobby's having a party in his suite. Everybody's there who's on this trip. They start gossiping about the things that are going on. And the Hollywood twins say that the word on the street is Gael went to the bar with Alan. I'm like, of course she did. Of course, Gael kept that going.
I was gonna ask if you believe that, but yeah, you do. Obviously, you do.
I believe that Alan seems like the type of dude who would deal with whoever's the most desperate.
Honestly, I thought Flo was more so his type than Gael.
It's not about who's his type though. I think he's just doing this to fuck with Amara. And Gael is the easiest.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
that.
Gael's the easiest. Nobody else showed him an ounce of attention because they had sense, but Gael is the one that was overly nice. And I think he's aware. He's in real estate. So to be in sales, you got to read people real well. And I think he read the smell of her coochie. But they've been kicking it basically. Everyone, I was cracking up because they talk about this while the group's in the room for the party, and Gael and them have not arrived yet. But why did the whole group would discussing Gael? Everybody saying, "Yeah, she need therapy. Yep, need therapy." I say, you got a group of Black people of love in hip hop saying somebody need therapy. I think they need therapy.
They need therapy for sure. She needs something. She needs because her thought process and logic is so out there. Like I can't even see where it's coming from. Like I don't understand how you think you are not the problem. You, out of your own mouth said that you don't care if a man is married, you don't sleep with him. You needed Jesus' husband. The alleged castmate girlfriend, you slept with her allegedly. It's like you are ruthless. Like there is nothing you won't do to inflict pain on people. Like there's nothing you won't do. And
I'm
to me,
sick of
that is
dying.
dangerous.
Yeah,
That is dangerous. Like, man, calm down.
everybody agreed you need a therapist, girl. Nobody trusts you. Everybody's only tolerating you because of your sister. So Gael needs to, if she wants to continue being on a show, she probably gonna need to relax because eventually people will get tired of Flo. And she don't want to be where nobody gonna film with her. So Shay comes in to the event. She comes in with Flo and her edges. I hate the way Flo does her edges. It's the same with Erica Banks. But Shay and Estelita immediately, Estelita's like, let's discuss, let's get to it. Shay does explain when they talk, because everybody goes to the club, that she did not mean for what she said to hurt Estelita or for it wasn't meant about her actual father. She says, I swear it wasn't that. It goes to explaining and all those things. Estelita says, it seemed like you got mad I didn't come to your daughter's birthday party. And Shay tries to make it seem like, well, I invited you to the party. We were supposed to be close and you just didn't come. Estelita goes, no, you had stopped talking to me. I hadn't heard from you. So I didn't go. And Shay goes, but you told me you was coming, so you should have went. She says, I never RSVP. I don't know who does to a 1-year-old's party. I don't know who does. Half the time, there's not even a full cake. It's just a little mini cupcake or something. The baby puts it on their face and everyone, oh, do you think the little player gonna walk by 6 months? And that's what happens, okay? Ain't nobody, I'll be damned if somebody expects RSVP to a 1-year-old birthday party.
Crazy girl, I can't with you.
I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna be one of the people, with a phone, but I'm not RSVPing.
I feel like that. Either way, that is a stupid reason to be mad at somebody and to then lay out all of this and unleash all of these, sayings about this, her being a prostitute, her being a sugar baby, her all of these, unleashing all of this, her being a scammer. All of that is not warranted because she didn't show up to a baby's first birthday party.
just because you're friends, there may be stuff I do that James don't like. That don't mean he got to call me a scammer and a raggedy, you know
Right,
what? Like,
exactly.
that doesn't make sense. And that's where Shay looks like a spoiled ass brat. That's why I say she's spoiled. Because if you look at every issue she's had with anyone, it's anytime anyone does anything that makes her look bad or does not agree with her, even if it's the truth, she's going to attack it. So I'm over Shay. She gives a half-assed apology too, in my opinion, but I was surprised she tried to give the apology. Estelina says she does not trust the apology at all. She does mention the daughter's birthday party, but you know, she ends up attacking Shay. I feel like they are both lying about the reason that they're not cool with each other. I think that the real reason they're not cool with each other might be something sexual, not between the two of them, but maybe a encounter with three people, maybe four people. They seem like the type to do that. Shay tries to act holier than thou now, but she's got a history, is what I will say, because I ain't trying to have nobody come for me on my channel, but she has a history. Google it. So I do think Estelita took it that way. I took it that way as well. But I don't know. I don't believe either of them. How do you feel about it?
I just think for me, and this goes back to what Boots was talking about when it comes to certain women. She seems like she really does hate on certain women or hate certain kind of women. And it's like I need her to stop doing this when you have these crazy ass expectations of people, and then when they don't do it, you don't go gutter. Like you just don't do it. And even in that scene where she even clarified the whole daddy thing, like even I'm gonna take it back to that. Like Estelita said, and I actually agree with Estelita, the best thing you could have done in this thing, instead of trying to shame her in it, you should have said, you know what? At the end of the day, what I said was fucked up because it could have been interpreted wrong. And I'm fucked up for that. I am so sorry because in all, I was angry and I did, mean to hurt you, but I realized that that was taking it a step too far into her. That's all she had to do. But once again, she's not emotionally mature enough to really understand that that's what you do when you go too low, you cut to the right. But also, I'm gonna say this with Estelita: you need to stop telling people your business like that.
Yeah, especially that kind of business.
Especially that kind of business. You need to let that shit go because one, I'm impressed that you were able to obtain that, but one in Miami living there, I do understand that to some people that's actually easy to obtain. But the problem is this: you need to stop telling your business like that because on Mad Day, women like her, hateful women like her, are going to use it in a way to where they want to shame you for it. Because I don't see anything wrong with Estelita has what she did. I'm one of those people. I don't see anything wrong with that. If she's able to benefit like that, I don't see nothing wrong with it. She
It's all
got to
consensual. She's doing what she's doing, and if she's in California, it's decriminalized anyway. So let the girl be. But I'm tired of both of them. They are not cool. Security has to carry them out. What ends up happening the next day is everybody goes to the beach, has a good time. Shay is staying on the trip, even though nobody wants to deal with her. And you could tell she's doing it to be petty, like, ha, ha, I'm still here. You're the one sitting alone, recording yourself alone in the DR when everyone else is with others. So Shay is just a little pathetic at this point. But nobody on the cast, when they get down to the beach, they discuss it a little bit. Nobody feels that Shay meant that as her sugar daddy. Everyone feels like she meant it to be negative. What Shay fails to realize is when you got a reputation for being nasty, then when you act nasty, we're going to believe you. You showed us who you was, and we believe you. But moving on, Amara's dumbass says that she is inviting Alan to the event that they're at again. She says she's doing it for the sake of the girls. Oh, was you bringing girls into the world with the daddy that did not want them, or you? Was that for the sake of them too? Here's the thing. Some women do be like, oh, I want my baby. I actually have a friend who she's a twin, and her sister and her, they're 38 now. They haven't had kids, all of that, went to college, and they are moving states. True story, y'all. And I said, what the hell? I want to have a baby. I ain't had a baby yet, so I'm just about to have one. It don't matter. I just want a baby. If you're going to do that, fine. But I don't understand why Amara is like,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, Shayna, thank you for joining us, love.
For the sake of your girls, it just seems pretty. If he calling you a black ass, what happened if the girls get a tan too dark? They daddy gonna be calling them black motherfuckers too.
And see, and that's a problem. It's a problem for me because overall, I get that, you know, there could have been, you know, prelude and preconception of all of that. But what I'm going to say is this. You didn't bring him here to resolve y'all argument. You brought him here to figure out what happened with Gael and Flo. Keep the shit real. And then especially after you getting that tea that, you know, he had something with Gael at the bar. I almost felt bad for Marvin until I remember how she got checked by head. Shayna, exactly. But now she's over here, she's trying to double down on that shit and trying to make some more shit his fault. Now, is he wrong for messing with Gael? Not necessarily. Because he don't know that lady. You know that lady, and that lady is dead ass wrong. So you invite him there, I will keep him as far away from this shit as I possibly could if it were me. Because what you're showing me is you don't know how to act when you get on camera and you come around my friends. You don't know how to act. So therefore, I'm not inviting you to shit else. I'm not going to keep you all the way the fuck back. And if you come on the show, it ain't going to be on my court. It's going to be about Gael's fancy ass. And then I'm going to walk the fuck out. That's me. That's how I would have handled the situation if it were.
Yeah. I agree. I agree, y'all.
Thank you, Naya, for doing that. I really do appreciate because Shayna's commentary is amazing. So we do appreciate you subscribing to our channel. Thank you.
Thank you, Shayna, too. Because I just looked. YouTube short isn't like you can see that I'm live, but you have to like go to the. I don't know why they don't. I don't know what YouTube's doing. Anywho, thank y'all. I'm glad everybody's subscribing and all of those things. Check out Shayna MCD's channel. I think that it has lots of good things. But yeah, Mara and this man Alan, I'm tired of them. I really am tired. So everybody plays a game of what they do and do not like about each other.
Hold on, before we go into that, Shayna, I have a question for you because that's interesting. Do you want to see his wife in that story? Because I do. I am so curious what this lady is like. Because there's no way she's just okay with all of this. And this is on national TV. I'm sure they get
recapping a show of people in the Dominican Republic, and the mom on there was saying something Nicole, and what's her name? Lydia. Anywho, she was on the show. They're from the Dominican Republic. One's a lawyer. The other little girl just does whatever she does. But apparently, because the guy I was recapping the show on, Pedro, it was the family Chantel. He found out he never knew his father. And he found out from his mom that his father wanted to know him and his sister, but she was keeping them from each other. And then he finds out that the mom got with the dad. His father is married to someone else. I guess that's just something that happens, she was saying, in the Dominican Republic, because he was like, this is awful. But he was saying that in the Dominican Republic, it is common for men to be married and still be partaking in whatever woman that they feel like. This is what I watched on a TLC reality show with people from there that they said. So I'm like, maybe that's Alan's situation, because like,
see, first of all, I need to understand the self-esteem y'all mothers give y'all daughters, and then when they get a grown age to where they actually get married, that y'all allow their husband just to be philandering on all up and down the damn coast and shit. I need to understand, because I'm not understanding. There's no way in hell, especially if my husband is there's no way I'm gonna show up with a damn butcher knife and like, look, I'm finna go to jail, so y'all better be prepared. Y'all want to blindfold and a cigarette? Because y'all ain't finna play with me like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all not about to play with me like this. I'm sorry. There's no way I could be married to Alan. There's absolutely no fucking way. And especially if I got kids at home too.
I live 20 minutes away from here. So you mean to tell me if you just 20 minutes away, wifey could be going to the corner market and see you over here at this?
I would have dropped all them damn groceries and ran up and jumped right on the both of their asses. I promise you, I
The
would.
groceries are a weapon, arm in arm.
No, that's produce. You sit the shit down. That's produce. I'm sure he got him a woman that cook everything from scratch. You got to set that shit down. So nobody don't fuck with this shit. I'll be right back and jump right on their fucking asses. I think and Alan look like he lived well. They look like they live like in gated communities and shit. I'm an actor.
They
like
do put Amara onto her business, so they do. But I think it's weird that she invited them. But they play a game where they talk about the things that they do and don't like about each other. The game was weird as hell. She said he proposed while married. Diabolical. But it happens all the time. I'm so tired of it. Simon, go body it. He was still technically married and trying to work things through to propose.
This is and I thought I was gonna have to go get me somebody from like Brazil or something, but I see they come with all kind of shit. So never mind. Not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just gonna wait for the right American because I see.
I think people forget when I'm watching 90 Day Fiance, which I recap 90 Day to Single Life, y'all. I'll be recapping it later tonight, but it's people are. I'm gonna just move on because I'm sick of everybody on this show. I hate to be so mean about it, but they're all on my nerve. I'm just trying to be cool, but they all on my. Loving Hip Hop Miami is irking my soul, but I'm cracking up and shading because she said it's diabolical. Alan is crazy, y'all. He's crazy. So last thing we really see, because I'm not going to go over the little game. They played a game where they talk about what they do and don't like about each other. I don't feel like any of it was helpful at all. And I don't care that they did the game on a negative note. Let's look at a comment from Shayna. She said, I saw a train. Oh, Lord. Not that. I saw a trend. A trend of women in the UK complaining about how awful the dating pool is. It's rough. Yes. Did y'all watch that new Lifetime show, The Prison Brides? It was like the international jailhouse relationship. And one of the women,
I can do all that.
But they had hella UK women in there. They all said the same thing. They were like, well, I couldn't find anyone to date. A lot of the men in Europe are abusive. Or in the UK, I was like, wait, what? They're abusive. I said, what's going on?
I'm like, damn, okay, well, Asia, what y'all doing? Because, see, like, all these countries can be fucked up alcohol now. Like Asia, like y'all coming out right, like Indonesia. Do I have to get somebody from the third world? And like I mean, come on.
No, and that's what people forget on them 90 Day Fiancés. They're like, I'm done with Americans. Maybe my lovers in Morocco. No, y'all got to remember there are cultural differences that are going to definitely.
Look, but I'm not asking for much. All I'm asking for you is to build me a shopping mall out of a Q-tip and a Swiss Army knife. That shouldn't be that damn hard.
Not a Q-tip and you're fired. Joe. Anywho, I'm cracking up. But I have heard that as well, Shayna, about the UK. I have heard that. You know what? There's some fine Australian men in the projects in Australia.
But you gotta deal with racism. That was the first country I looked at. You gotta deal with racism with that shit because none of the black people go around there. They understand that. And I know not to go to England because that's where racism began. So my only thought is now to go to Asia because I can't get with, as much as I would love to get down with Africa, I can't get with them either because I got to compete with Kanye, S2I, and everybody else. I ain't finna do all that. So now I got to go to Asia and I'm hoping no shit go wrong there. I'm gonna try and Singapore.
Oh, you haven't been in California long enough. We got a racist ass mayor in Oakland.
I know. We know. Trust me, we know exactly. I know.
She had us without a police chief for like 2 years. In my mind, she just didn't want to hire a black man. Then she fired our police chief. For something that it was alleged that he did. It was found out he didn't do it and she wouldn't give him his job back. I said, bitch, and the city's a mess. Anywho, but yeah, it's not always, the grass is not always greener, y'all, dating on the other side. That's what I will say. Last thing we see is Florence L. Luce pull her raggedy sister Gael aside to talk to her about the fact that Claudia sent these screenshots saying Gael and her had sex and that she was on a FaceTime with Marlon. So we discussed this a little bit earlier. I just feel like, one, Claudia, I don't feel sorry for Florence for what she's dealing with. She cheated on Claudia. She cheated on him. You ain't just laying in the bed with your husband wearing what she was wearing without this.
Let's put some context on this for a second. Who is she cheating on in the situation? Because she legally got paperwork with this man. So is she really?
And she had Claudia led to the impression.
Okay. So for
relationship.
So for those of you who are new to this channel and that's not watching for the first time, I lived in Florida. I lived in Miami. I know for like 10 seconds that the type of man that Marlon is not going to allow his wife to be with no other man. So I feel like this is a storyline for her to go out and be with this woman. I don't believe she's this fluid. I just do not believe.
I think what makes it more storyline-ish is the fact that Gael and Claudia allegedly had a history.
Yes, and that makes it more. And that's what I was saying. It's even more of a storyline. So I'm putting that as a disclaimer. I don't believe this. But if I were to say for shits and giggles of this show, I don't believe that that's technically cheating because technically she cheated on Marlon with Claudia. So it's like. It's a double-edged
like Marta being upset for Alan for talking to people. Well, how the hell would you feel that, the family, the wife feels? I agree with Shayna. We have been saying this since we started recapping Love and Hip Hop Miami. When it comes to Flo's storyline, we don't believe it, especially James. I don't think anybody watching this takes it seriously, though. Ain't no way in hell I'm forgiving my sister for sleeping with my husband. Ain't no way in hell. And I have a husband and a sister. I would destroy her if she tried that. And then I would come for him next. And then I would get my bail and come back again. I don't understand or trust any of what's going on. But this is allegedly what's happening. So now she slept with your husband and your ex, which makes no fucking sense. Gael denies sleeping with the girl, which I guess you could believe it. I don't.
Yeah, because we didn't see it, and because all we saw was a makeout session. I didn't see Flo take off no drawers, and I didn't see. I mean, not Flo. I didn't see Diana take off no drawers, and I didn't see anything else outside of their kiss. So I don't know if it did go down like that. I don't put it past Gael. I don't put it past her at all. But what I'm saying is, it did seem like she went in there with the intentions to expose her in that episode, and it ended up backfiring because Claudia used the evidence instead of Gael used the evidence. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is also insulting and a joke. There's actually people out there who date girls who are girls. It's not always like this. These people are a joke. Moving it along, what I will say now, Marlon and the FaceTime, that's something that cannot be, faked in terms of the screenshot. This is going to make me believe that this is bullshit even further, because why do you have his phone number if you were supposedly dating Flo and not Marlon? How and why do you have Marlon's phone number is my thing. 2, if you care about your wife, you're not going to do that, even if you have cheated Marlon. So it doesn't make any sense. Nia Green said in comments in the live chat, I've seen the movie Chicago, that girl unalived her sister for the same thing, messing with her husband. Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again.
In real life, when people do stuff like this, you're not just going to the family dinner. Like, that's not happening. Like, it really does cause friction and sometimes severs the family relationship for people who didn't do it. Like, it's a legit thing. Right. She said it could have been a FaceTime on IG, but still is BS. It did kind of look like it too, honestly, if y'all have done the call on IG. The last thing we see from this goofy ass episode is Amarta goes to ask Gael about Alan and what they're doing together. And Gael says, well, I'm not a kid, and so I'm not going to answer the question. And then she says, and he came to my room and I'm so tired of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I want Gael gone. Stat. I want Gael gone. I want Safari gone. I want Amara gone. I want Shay gone. I don't want Estelita on the show. I don't want Ray J or Princess on it either.
They haven't been on the show. That's what they was in the
They
first.
still in the credits though.
I mean, we ain't seen nor heard, though. You know, where Ray J and Princess at? Y'all got to stop with this fuck shit. Y'all do. This is ridiculous.
Listen,
What else happened? That it?
that's it. That's literally it. Gael got an attitude with Amara. They ended it there. I guess we'll see more next week. I don't care. This man who said it, I think all of y'all have said it in the chat. Alan don't and has never, he has never, will never, and does not belong to Amara or anybody outside of his wife until
Let
he
me tell
found.
y'all, some women of the Dominican Republic and y'all who are in any other ethnicity or country that allows your husband to do this fuck shit with other women, y'all need to watch that movie Trapped with Charlize Theron and Kevin Bacon. There was a scene in particular where she had him on the bed. She had a scalpel. She said, "I'm gonna cut this shit off. Now, where my child at?" You know, y'all need to start using that. Y'all need to have that same mindset. Cheat on me one more time, I'm gonna slice this shit. Y'all need to have that shit. Y'all need to do that shit because apparently y'all just let y'all husband just go all up and down damn rivers and shit.
And the therapist in me wants to say, please don't Lorena Bobby a nigga. I would prefer it if y'all would go to therapy, figure out why you were choosing these types of people and accepted it. If you with somebody that caused you to have to pull a knife, so I'm like, my husband have pissed me off a few times. It's been 60 years. He's pissed me off a few times, but I ain't never had to like pull a knife on him or like threaten him. But
see, here's the thing, and because American, you know, we somewhat have the subtlety of like people can stay faithful a lot of the time. It's it's very seldom, but a lot of the time people stay faithful. So of course we not that shit. I don't want y'all to normalize that man could go out and make a whole nother family and or a couple of other families and think this shit is normal. I don't want y'all to normalize your sister sleeping with your husband, your side piece and everything, and then he and all in your faces and try to cause drama with other people. I don't want y'all to normalize this shit, is what I am saying. So to not normalize it, sometimes drastic causes calls for drastic measures. I'm not promoting violence by any means necessarily. I'm not a gentleman. I'm not doing that. I am just saying we cannot normalize this shit, is what I'm saying.
yeah, there's a way.
Especially when there's a shortage of men to women. We can't normalize this.
Yeah, it's just all becoming a little bit of a joke and a disaster, though, these people on this show. But that is it for this recap. I'm sorry it took a little longer, but this episode was all over the place. There's a lot that happened, lots of fights. I want them to figure it out. I do agree with Naya. I do think that Love and Hip Hop Miami needs a recast. I think that a lot of shows on multiple networks right now need a recast. We've got a lot of cast that have been on shows since season 1, and they're now on season 6 and 7. And I think it's necessary to change things around. Anywho, I appreciate all of you good people. If you are watching our live replay, shout out to the replay gang, Thug Life. Thank you for supporting the channel. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have questions or suggestions, look at the bottom of the screen, or you can look in the description of the video. Other than that, stay on the channel. We are now going to be getting into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So I love you all and adios and thank you, James. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, Naya, we need a time. Oh, not Naya, Shayna, we need a timeline. We need a timeline for cast member staff. Anywho, I love y'all and adios.